This is the Fiji Marriott Resort, Momi Bay, Overwater bures, a private lagoon, sunset pools, and the rare promise of a Fiji resort that feels like an island escape without needing a domestic flight. It sits about 45 minutes from Nadi Airport on the quieter western coast of Viti Levu. So from the start, this is a very specific kind of trip. You are not booking a walkable town, a nightlife base, or a resort you casually leave every night for dinner. You are booking a self-contained 5-star bubble with calm water, polished landscaping, and enough facilities to make staying put feel intentional. The footage looks beautiful, but that is the easy part. The real question is whether the beauty holds up once you look at the room, the food, the pool scene, the location, the practical details, and the price trade-off. So this review is built around what the footage actually shows, not just what the resort promises. Arrival is more polished than casual. The drive-in moves through palms and dense landscaping before the Marriott sign appears, and then the resort opens into a large open-air entrance. Inside, the first impression is not just architecture, it is service. The lobby is breezy, the reception area is active, and there's a Marriott Bonvoy welcome cart where staff prepare a mimosa right in front of you. That small detail matters because the resort is remote. If you are going to stay mostly on property, arrival has to convince you quickly that the property itself can carry the trip. Here, the arrival does its job. It slows the pace down, gives you a welcome ritual, and makes the hotel feel organized before you even see the lagoon. The room experience has two different stories. The first is practical: smartphone entry, a clean layout, a proper bed, seating, storage, and enough space that it does not feel like a standard transit hotel room. The second is emotional. The balcony and lagoon view do most of the selling. This is not the wildest natural beach in Fiji, but as a resort room view, it is easy to live with. Palm trees, water, low buildings, and outdoor furniture give you a place to actually sit, not just take one photo and leave. That matters more than it sounds. In a resort like this, the room is not only where you sleep, it is part of the daily rhythm. Morning coffee outside, a quiet pause between pool and dinner, or simply watching the light change over the lagoon are all part of the value. The room works best when you treat the view as an amenity, not just a backdrop. If you are comparing room categories, this is the question to ask. Are you paying for square footage, or are you paying for the relationship with the water? The bathroom is one of the better parts of the room. You get the freestanding tub, a separate shower, a bench, built-in shelving, and a vanity that is actually stocked with useful kits instead of just one generic bottle. The details are not ultra boutique, but they are complete. Toothbrush kits, shaving kits, vanity kits, slippers, robes, umbrellas, and a proper coffee setup all make the room feel prepared for a real stay. This is the difference between a room that photographs well and a room that functions well for several days. If you are here as a couple, the tub and shower setup feel relaxed and spacious. If you are here as a family, the storage, amenities, and extra practical pieces reduce friction. For a resort where you are likely spending a lot of time on property, those small details matter. Storage and minibar details are not glamorous, but they are exactly the kind of things that make a hotel review useful. The closet has robes, slippers, umbrellas, hangers, ironing gear, and extra pillows. The coffee station has lavazza, tea, proper cups, and bottled Fiji water. There is even a small moment where the chamomile tea bag is shown up close and called out as quality. That kind of footage is valuable because viewers can see what is included, not just hear a hotel claimed to be 5-star. It also shows the style of luxury here. This is not maximalist high design luxury. It is polished resort convenience. Enough of everything, easy to understand, and built for guests who want the stay to feel smooth rather than surprising. If this level of detail is useful, hit like. It tells me to keep showing the practical parts. Most hotel reviews skip. The lagoon is the center of the property. From the drone footage, you can see how engineered the layout is. The beaches, the overwater bures, the walkways, the pools, and the main buildings are arranged around calm, managed water. That is both the strength and the trade-off. It feels easy, beautiful, and controlled. It also means this is not the kind of Fiji stay where you step out into a lively village or a wild, untouched beach. You are choosing a polished resort bubble, and the hotel knows exactly how to make that bubble look good. For many travelers, that is a positive. You get the visual language of Fiji with simpler logistics, especially because you do not need another domestic flight. But if your dream version of Fiji is rugged, local, and exploratory, this setup may feel too contained. The lagoon is stunning, but it is curated. That is why the best way to judge this resort is not by asking whether it is the most authentic Fiji imaginable. It is by asking whether you want an easy, scenic, highly managed version of Fiji for this particular trip. The beachfront room footage gives the resort a different kind of appeal. Instead of just looking at the lagoon from above, you are stepping from a private patio onto sand with loungers, palms, and calm water right there. This is where the property starts to feel less like a big international resort and more like the Fiji fantasy people book in their head. It is still controlled, still landscaped, still Marriott, but it is genuinely relaxing. The value is in the ease of movement. You can go from room to beach without planning anything, without transport, without a schedule. For couples, this is the emotional sell: privacy, water, and quiet. For families, it is also practical, calm water, visible space, and an easy room-to-beach rhythm that makes the resort feel manageable rather than overwhelming. The adults' only infinity pool is the strongest amenity in the footage. It has the ingredients that make a travel video hold attention: reflective water, fire features, floating loungers, ocean horizon, and a west-facing sunset. This is where a longer edit is justified. You do not need to cut away every 3 seconds because the view changes naturally as the light moves. The resort's best argument is not a list of facilities. It is this feeling of sitting still while the sky does the work. It also tells you who the hotel is trying to satisfy. Couples get an area that feels calmer and more cinematic than the main family pool. Adults who want a quiet drink at sunset get a real reason to stay on property. And for video, this is premium footage because it has depth, foreground water, people relaxing, firelight, and the horizon all working together. This pool also makes the resort feel more expensive in a way that guests can immediately understand. You can see why someone would choose to spend the evening here instead of chasing plans elsewhere. It gives the day a clear final act: beach or lagoon during the day, then this pool as the light drops. If you come here for romantic downtime, this is probably the image you will remember. Dining is broad rather than tiny and boutique. The resort has 6 outlets, including fish bar for seafood with sunset views, goji kitchen and bar for the buffet, lagoon house for a Mediterranean poolside feel, Lagoon Lounge, Fiji Baking Company, and Voi Voi Bar. The footage that matters most is not the restaurant list, it is the food being prepared, the fresh seafood on ice, the wine and dry aging displays, and the private gazebo table by the water. This is where the resort feels capable of supporting several nights without forcing you off property every evening. The private dining setup is especially useful visually because it explains the romantic version of the hotel without needing a brochure. The buffet and kitchen footage explain the practical version, families, longer stays, and guests who want everything close. The caveat is cost and variety. A self-contained resort solves the logistics problem, but it also means you are often eating and drinking at resort pricing. If you like convenience, that may be fine. If you like exploring local restaurants every night, this location will feel more limiting. The amenity mix is stronger than it first looks. There is a cocktail masterclass set up, a kids mocktail class, local shopping, a Fiji art corner in the lobby, an elite lounge area, spa treatment rooms, and a proper gym with free weights, cardio machines, and sports equipment. None of this is as cinematic as the sunset pool, but it matters for the weekly rhythm of a stay. These are the things that keep a resort from becoming repetitive. After the first 2 days, couples can disappear into the spa and dinners. Families get kids, club energy, calm water, and small activities. Marriott loyalists get the practical resort infrastructure they expect. The local art corner is especially useful because it gives the lobby a little more place-specific character, which a large international resort always needs. And if you are comparing this resort with another Fiji hotel, comment the name below. That helps me decide which resort comparisons to make next. So, who is this hotel really for? It is excellent for couples who want sunsets, spa time, overwater visuals, and a polished, no stress version of Fiji. It is also strong for families who want calm water, pools, kids programming, and easy logistics without island hopping, but it is not ideal if you want nightlife, local restaurants outside the gate, or a highly walkable base. The location is peaceful because it is removed. That is the point. You are paying resort prices, and in return, you get convenience, scenery, and a controlled lagoon environment. The safest way to think about it is this: book Momi Bay if you want the resort itself to be the trip. Do not book it if you want the hotel to be only a launch pad. If your priority is independence, you may feel boxed in. If your priority is an easy luxury reset, the isolation becomes part of the appeal. The verdict: Fiji Marriott Resort, Momi Bay, is worth it for the right traveler, especially if you want Fiji scenery, overwater style visuals, sunsets, pools, and resort convenience without adding a domestic flight. The strongest reasons to book are the lagoon setting, the room views, the sunset, infinity pool, and the easy self-contained structure. The reasons to pause are just as clear. It is remote, not very walkable, and once you are here, you are mostly committing to resort-priced food, drinks, and activities. Subscribe for more honest luxury hotel reviews, and comment the hotel you want me to review or compare next. I use those comments to choose future trips, answer real booking questions, and build better comparison videos.